All right, folks, welcome back. This is Off the Edge. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. He is Cameron Lynch. And we are hyped for the NFL season. It just
Hell yeah.
keeps getting wackier. There's a lot of parity. Everybody has a shot. Well, not everybody. If you're the Jets, you probably don't have a shot. But
Ooh.
most teams at this point have a shot, Cam.
Even the Panthers.
I mean, the Panthers are 3-3, right? All of a sudden, people are trying to say, "Oh, this is the year the Chiefs are." Nope, Chiefs are 3-3. So there's a lot of interesting things going on. There are definitely some top performers. We're going to get into it. Before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this and share it with somebody that likes football, because I guarantee you there is some. If it's not, only if it's like a minute. It doesn't have to be anything long, but even a minute, you can't say that there's one person out there that that likes football that couldn't relate to at least a minute of our show. And if that's the case, be sure to share this show with them. But Cam, I thought we did a really nice job with the top performers. Not all of them. We had no idea what we were doing with the quarterback, apparently.
Yeah.
But wide receiver, I thought we nailed it. You had Jackson Smith-Njigba. He had 8 catches for 162 yards and a touchdown. I had Ted McMillan, who didn't have quite those numbers, but found the end zone twice. Anytime a guy scores 2 touchdowns, that's a big day.
Yeah.
Cam, talk to me. What do you feel about JSN?
JSN, I mean, I talked about it before, but whenever you turn on JSN and Emeka Egbuka, that's teach tape. That Ohio State gameplay up there, man. I know I talk about it every week, Jake. It feels like it's a beating the drum, but those guys can play some football, and it's been really cool to see. I know Emeka went out last week with a hamstring injury. I don't know what's going on in Tampa, Jake. Those hamstrings are a little soft, him and Mike Evans, but it's hot out there. You're running fast, so I get it, right? Sometimes you got to change your tire every now and then, but hopefully the hamstring gets back healthy for Emeka. Emeka could be on this list every week, but this week is JSN. He's looking like one of the better receivers in the NFL, Jake, I would say. I mean, you can throw in Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can throw in some other people that are really showing up, but JSN is leading the pack. So he has Sam Darnold looking like a daggone MVP. Sam Darnold is wheeling and dealing. So JSN, I have him here on my list. He had a crazy 61-yard touchdown from Sam Darnold during that. It was a Jacksonville game, and so that team is looking really good, the Seattle Seahawks. And I know we're talking about offense, Jake, but just that defense on the Seahawks side, man, that front four, they really get after it. But like I mentioned, JSN, I know he's on pace right now, Jake, to break one of Calvin Johnson's records. So it's really cool to see. And he's having that like Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp type of like rookie year where you're like, dude, he's him. So JSN is my top performer this week. And then you talk about T. McMillan, like you mentioned, he doesn't have all the numbers and the stats, but when you find the end zone twice in a game, that means you're cooking. And so he's a great red zone threat. He got his first touchdown in like 26 catches. So finally, Bryce Young is starting to move along, Jake. I come on the show a lot, and I'm like, damn, I just wish Bryce does better. He's starting to move forward. So that's good for him.
No, you're absolutely right. What a big win for the Carolina Panthers. Rico Dowdle has been a stud for them. We're going to talk about him a little bit, I would imagine. But let's move on to the defense, because you had Robert Spillane. He had 4 stops in this game, 7 tackles. And I had Nick Herbig, who, man, this dude was... you knew it was coming. I said the matchup was juicy. Well, he had 6 pressures, 2 sacks, and had a 30.6% pass rush win rate. My man was cooking, and I have a feeling he's going to be doing the same thing this Thursday night against that Cincinnati Bengals porous, if we want to call it, offensive line.
Porous offensive line. Yeah, you mentioned Nick Herbig stepping in big time, Jake. I think you got guys like TJ Watt, you got Alex Highsmith, who he stepped in for, and now he's still getting some of those reps because he showed he can pressure the quarterback. He can make big plays. So that Steelers defense putting on a clinic. And then we talk about Robert Spillane. I know I think at the end of the day, he's consistent, Jake. He's not having, like a Devin Lloyd from the Jaguars. He's not doing a 99-yard pick six, but he's showing up each week in and week out. He's making plays. He's making stops. And that Patriots defense is doing pretty well, right? They're getting the football back to a guy like Drake May, who right now they call him a young goat, young Billy Goat, because Drake May's playing his ass off. But it's just good complementary football, and it's just good to see what Vrabel's doing over there. So I got Spillane on the chart here. He's playing good football as a linebacker, and at the end of the day, you need it to stop. You need defense to win championships. I'm not saying that the Patriots will go to the championship, Jake, or the Super Bowl, but they might be in the playoffs. And you called it at the beginning of this year. You said that they're going to do their thing, and they're doing it.
Appreciate the love, Cam.
Absolutely.
Hey, we like the Patriots on this channel. I'm telling you, they're a fun team, and oh man, I can't wait to talk about the retribution that Mike Vrabel's going to get this week. We'll just say that because he was unfairly fired. That was a mistake, and they told us it was a mistake.
There's a lot going on over there, Jake. Tennessee Titans. There's a lot cooking over there.
Hey, at least they're about to say, I don't know, 3 years from now they'll have the best stadium in the league, probably one of them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's cool, right?
Yeah. No state income tax out there. I mean, Cam Ward's out there.
Cam Ward's a baller, so yeah. There's still Jeffrey Simmons. I guess wants to stick around.
He's showing up week in and week out, Jake. I'm like, damn, give this guy trade. I mean, put him somewhere else, please. He's going to waste over there.
Oh man, we are definitely going to get into it. All right, so let's do a better job this week. We did a great job, I thought, with the top performers last week. Let's do a better job this week. I'm starting off with quarterback. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers, Thursday Night Football against the Cincinnati Bengals. They are getting absolutely shredded through the air. And Aaron Rodgers hasn't had his real breakout game of the year, but he's played very well. I'm expecting this to be the game. Short week, tougher for defenses, I think. I'm sure you could also attest to that. Just it's tough because you're not the one, making the moves, right? You're the one reacting to the moves. It's a lot different. So, I feel like Aaron Rodgers, I know it's on the road. His best game of the season was the 4-touchdown game to start the year against the Jets, but I'm thinking you're going to see 3 touchdown passes, so it might not be as good in the touchdown number, but I think we're going to see a lot of yards in this game from Aaron Rodgers. So give me Aaron Rodgers as the top performer for the week at quarterback.
I like that, Jake. The Bengals team, they're struggling a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of bit. Thankfully, they got Joe Flacco there to change things up a little bit. I got Chase, Jamar Chase on my fantasy team. And when Joe Burrow went down, my team just started tanking. But he's starting to rise back up a little bit, right? Joe Flacco's finding these nice back shoulder footballs for him to catch, which is great. Someone called it the icy hot game. I think Cam Hayward called it the icy hot game. The game where the old folks are playing. They're both 40 years old and up, and so it should be a good one for the books, I think. But I like Aaron Rodgers winning that game. I think him and DK Metcalf, their relationship, they're just smooth, Jake. Like they've been throwing to each other for years, it feels like. So it's good to see DK happy and thriving on a team. I'm going to go for my quarterback, Jake, Bryce Young. We talked about it before. Bryce Young, he's starting to move things forward a little bit. That offensive line is getting confidence, I think, with Rico Dowdle back there. So they're blocking their ass off for Rico. They're like, hey, let's make sure the short guy behind us gets some love as well. And so, you talk about Tevin McMillan finding the end zone. I think that's big for a guy like Bryce Young, just to find some of those small wins. So I got Bryce Young showing out this week against the Jets. Jake, the Jets are 30th in pass defense. I think they got their first turnover last week from a forced fumble. So they're trying to find their way. I feel like that we talked about that Jets, that Giants, it's a little cursed up there. Giants are winning though. So,
think about this to add, more flair to your pick. Bryce Young is getting back his wide receiver 2 this week, Jalen Coker. And I'll tell you right now, Xavier Legette has been a disappointment. Okay. He just has. So getting Coker back, who hasn't been a disappointment at a Holy Cross, really saw some good things last year. And then they were really excited for him. Goes down with an injury in camp. The fact he's going to be back now, I think that's only going to bode well for Bryce Young. So I like the pick a lot, Cam. I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Xavier Legette, man. I know he's great for social media, Jake. He'll do some viral shit on social media, but when it comes to that football field, I'm gonna need him to step his game up. And I think he's hitting that sophomore slump. We talked about the sophomore slump for some of the athletes out there that they haven't really hit it, but I think he's hitting it right now. And hopefully he can get rejuvenated as long as the Panthers can continue winning, I think he'll find some success. But until then, I like what Bryce Young's doing. Bryce Young, first round overall pick, Jake. Like you got to show me something. So hopefully he can have that Baker Mayfield-esque type of experience where he can experience it in North Carolina, not going to 3 different teams to figure it out.
Hey, he ripped an absolute missile on 4th down. He had to have it. The margin for error is so slim on those slants. And, hey, they trust him to make the throw. He made the throw. Dave Canales deserves a lot of credit for the amount of trust that he already has in Bryce Young.
And not give up.
It has not been smooth sailing over there at all, to say the least. So moving to running back here, I went with Quinshon Judkins because the Dolphins might be the worst run defense I've ever seen. It is so bad. Quinshon Judkins is also a baller and has gone against a good run defense and has success. The only thing that's going to hold him back are the fact that, you have Dylan Sampson, you have Jerome Ford. That's the only thing that's really going to hold him back is that they have 2 other running backs that they like. But if they just let Judkins cook, he's going over 150 rushing yards against this absolutely pathetic run defense.
Absolutely pathetic. Hey, Jake, I'm not going to lie. It hurts to watch the Miami Dolphins. It hurts to watch the Jets, who gave up 9 sacks. It hurts to watch some of these teams that aren't really good right now. Miami Dolphins are struggling to snitching on his teammates for not showing up to meetings. There's a lot going on there, but the Browns have a chance. Will we see Shedeur, right? Dylan Gabriel had a tough go last week. He gets the ball out really quick, but he got sacked a few times. But establishing the run game at the end of the day, it's the most important thing you can do, right? When Nick Chubb was there, he was doing that. Quinshon Judkins can be that for this Browns team. Jake, for my running back, I'm going back to the Panthers. I'm going back to Rico Dowdle, just the way he's been putting together games, right? With Chuba Hubbard out, him stepping in as the next man up. And I think really that's just a lesson for life. Like, stay ready, because when your numbers call, you got to go off. And he went off against his former team in the Cowboys. He mentioned that they didn't buckle their chin straps, and he ran right through them for over 150 yards. So it was really cool to see that, and he can catch the football out of the backfield. So going back to your point about Dave Canales, right? Tip your hat off, because they weren't looking good at the beginning of the year. Now they're starting to turn things around a little bit, and so really good for them. I'm liking Rico Dowdle and what he's doing. That Jets defense, like you mentioned, with the Miami Dolphins, similar. They are struggling as well. So I think Rico Dowdle can eat, and I think Bryce Young can eat. So I'm putting all my chips in on both of the Panthers guys.
Yeah, and I'll say this, Cam. I am a little concerned about the Panthers and just kind of erasing what they've done well by trying to fit Chuba Hubbard in the equation. I understand, he's a guy that they really like and they paid, but they also paid Rico Dowdle. And Dowdle is the best running back I have seen just from a performance standpoint the last 2 weeks. He's the best a running back in Carolina has looked since we're talking D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, and that
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. I totally forgot about McCaffrey.
Respectfully.
McCaffrey. Respectfully. I feel like he's been in the 49ers forever now. But he's been the best since Christian McCaffrey for sure. And I don't think, and Hubbard's a 1,000-yard receiver in his own right, but I just feel like he looks so much better than what Hubbard is. And it'd be stupid to do a committee backfield when you're 2-0 when you start Rico Dowdle. He's already 6th in the league in rushing, 5th in the league in rushing. He's only started 2 games.
Bro,
and you want to take it out of the hot hand? I just don't see that going well. So we'll see what ends up happening. But Dave Canales deserves a lot of credit. Now, if he doesn't give Rico Dowdle at least 15 carries, he's going to lose some respect for me.
Yeah, and also, too, his offensive line, Jake. Like, you think about it. The offensive line, they're blocking differently. They just watch the tape and, they're having fun doing it, right? They're double teaming, they're comboing, and they're just crushing people. And similar to, Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson at the Giants, the team they just have a little bit more fun when they got Jackson Dart out there. They know they're going to get some dancing, scatterboos going off. And so kind of do what the people want, right? Make the people happy. And if your offensive linemen are having a good time blocking for Rico Dowdle, who runs for 170 yards a game, give the guys what they want.
I'm just saying. Wide receiver. So you're going to go Kendrick Bourne against the Falcons. I'm going to go with Rashee Rice against the Raiders. This is the juiciest matchup for a wide receiver, in my opinion. Rashee Rice is back. He's been practicing. He was suspended. He's ready to go. He's got Patrick Mahomes throwing the football. Ooh. Patrick Mahomes is throwing the football a lot more than he normally does. And I don't like this wide receiver room. I've made that very clear. I've been very open and honest. Rashee Rice is a big reason why they didn't go out and trade for somebody, because they view him as getting somebody at the trade deadline. They see him as a number one. And already hearing like the training wheels are not going to be on. So I think Rashee Rice absolutely goes off. I'm thinking like a 2-touchdown performance, over 100 yards, maybe 8 catches. And yeah, I'm an idiot for not trading for him before this week in fantasy.
It's all good, Jake. It's like that sometimes. I think with the Rashee Rice in this Chiefs offense, and Jake, I don't hate to say it, but they're cooking again. The Chiefs are cooking. Patrick Mahomes is getting that football out. He's running it a little bit more. He's scoring touchdowns with his legs. I mean, this team has Xavier Worthy back. Travis Kelce's catching the ball a lot better. I mean, let's keep it a spade, Jake. The start of the season, they looked like shit. All right, the Chiefs look like shit. They came from the Super Bowl and they got smoked there. And they started the season. They've been getting smoked ever since. But with Rashee Rice coming back, this team is looking strong. Juju Smith-Schuster is doing some fighting and stuff like that, right? Just a little edginess to the team. Which, hey, to each his own. I know Brian Branch, he got kicked out for a week or something like that.
Yeah.
But hey, I like this Chiefs team is looking a lot better. Anytime Patrick Mahomes is on the screen, Jake, I'm gonna watch it. No matter how much the world hates him, it's kind of like watching Steph Curry. If Steph Curry's shooting the ball, you need to tune in. And so with Rashee Rice coming back for Patrick Mahomes, it's going to be a good matchup, a good link up. And going to my receiver, Jake, Kendrick Bourne. Okay, now I said Mac Jones was my top performer for last week, and he got smoked. He didn't do too well, but just
he threw a lot of yards.
yeah, he threw for a lot of yards. He threw some interceptions too. You know what I mean? So I'm like, he had a tough go at it. But what Kendrick Bourne and what Mac Jones did to the Rams defense while they were hurt, right? We talk about like be careful about the injured dog. The injured dog is a more dangerous dog because they don't really have nothing to lose because they're like, hey, I got to fight for my life. And that's what this 49er team does. Kendrick Bourne and Mac Jones, just their connections have been amazing. Ricky Pearsall, Brock Purdy, these guys are out. Brandon Ayuk's out, right? George Kittle is out. But Kendrick Bourne is stepping up for this 49ers team. And we're Rams folks, Jake, but you got to show respect where respect is due. And Kendrick Bourne is catching the ball like no one else's business. So I got him showing out against the Falcons, who did look like world beaters against the Bills. I mean, those guys were freaking balling out, but you can see in some instances, right, where you talk about Josh Allen, he was finding some holes in that defense. I think it was like a red zone touchdown pass where he looked off one of the safeties, and Jesse Bates looked him off. Jesse Bates dropped down, and he found the receiver right over him for a touchdown. So I think that the 49ers can do something similar, but with Fred Warner going down in that defense, and we'll talk about that later, that's a lot going on for that team, and it's unfortunate, but I like Kendrick Bourne going off for this week.
I like the pick there. And then defense, we got a pair of Rams here.
Yeah.
So I went with Byron Young against the Jaguars, and you went with Nate Landman against the Jaguars. I don't know if you saw the actual number. Seattle had 39 pressures on this Jaguars offensive line. I mean, you just gotta laugh, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you see pressures in the 30s, that's no joke. Like we can laugh, but it's no joke.
They had like 9. They had like 9 sacks or something.
I think they had like seven.
Yeah. Sorry, somebody had 9 sacks on the Jets. I'm sorry, but the Jags, had 7. Yeah, 7 against the Jags.
Yeah. So look, I mean, Robert Hainsey, does he play? Does he not play at center? Well, I don't know how much that impacts the tackles who sucked. They just sucked. I mean, Anton Harrison got bullied. And then I've never seen Walker Little, the big 6'8" tackle, get pushed around like that. Seattle is similar to the Rams in that they beat you with the power. And, I remember us talking on Off the Edge about Byron Young. And when he was coming out of Tennessee, we're like, he's kind of an old school power rusher. Like he's crazy athletic and he's really fast. But people look at that as like, oh, he's a speed rusher. Yeah, but he is just trying to bull rush you and just trying to win like kind of an old fashioned way. That doesn't bode well for this Jaguars team. I saw the way that they reacted to the power rushing game, and it was not great last week. So the thing that I noticed on film, because I just finished watching that full game, and the thing that I noticed is that they deteriorated over the course of the game. You saw them really kind of get worn down. I hate to break it to you, that's what the Rams do. So Byron Young almost had 3 sacks in back-to-back plays. He had 2 in back-to-back plays.
In like the
he
fourth
almost
quarter.
had 3. Yeah, he has 7.5 sacks, Cam. He had 7.5 all of last year. So here he is.
And it's week 7.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't even played week 7, and he's averaging over a sack per game. I think it continues in this one. I'm thinking we're going to see 2+ sacks for Byron Young. And I'm going to say he gets at least another 6 pressure game like he did this past week. He is just playing out of his mind. And you got Jared Verse, but I feel like Jared Verse is the low-hanging fruit. So I'm going to go with Byron Young here. Doesn't get enough credit. Well, he's going to get it now on Off the Edge.
Jake, and is he in line for Defensive Player of the Year at some point? Do you have that conversation? I mean, if he has, Jake, if he has 21 sacks, like, like a Myles Garrett or a Trey Hendrickson, like, do you say, hey, this guy is not only, I mean, of course, the defense is playing out their mind, right?
Yeah.
You talked about Nate Landman, you talked about Chris Shula calling this defense really, really well. And so he's behind a great system. But like you mentioned, he has a guy on the opposite side of him that's causing a lot of pressure, right? Forcing fumbles, doing a lot of things there. But Byron Young is holding up his own, and I agree, Jake. He is that old head strength. You know what I mean? Like when you wrestle like your grandpa or something who hasn't lifted in like 10 years, but like he just grabs you by your shirt, and you're like, whoa, like, hold on, OG. You know what I mean? So he has that old head strength. I like that pick. And then Nate Landman, Jake, 17 tackles, breaking the franchise record, right? He's passing guys like Alec Ogletree, he's doing things that I don't say we haven't seen at the Rams, but things that we're familiar with. You're like, oh, okay, I've seen this before, right? Bobby Wagner, right? He had 1 year with the Rams where he didn't miss any tackles. And so the Rams doing a good job, less need of bringing in guys who can make plays, maybe overlooked, may not be the sexiest thing that's going on, but you get a guy from South Africa who comes in and punches the football out like it's nobody else's business, making clutch plays all over the place. I think he's gonna do that. He did a great job against the Ravens, even though Derrick Henry had 120 yards. Right, it's the whole defense, not just him. But he has Travis Etienne this week. He has a great group of running backs, and I think he's really going to show up. Hopefully, they can limit Travis Etienne to about 60 to 70 yards, 6-7. You know what I mean? But keep that tight. And Nate Landman, he also, man, I mean, it's just really impressive. I like to see it, Jake. He speaks up for the team. He's a captain in his first year, and it's just good ball, brother.
When you heard the stuff coming out of camp, you could just tell he was different. He's similar though. He's similar. He's a little bit of every linebacker that we've seen, like some of the good of Ogletree, some of the good of Corey Littleton, some of the good of James Laurinaitis, Mark Barron, even, some aspects of his game. He's just like a combination of all those guys, you know, and I understand he doesn't have the athletic profile of Zach Bond because he's a crazy athlete coming out of college, but he is the Zach Bond of 2025, a under the radar free agency acquisition that you got for pennies on the dollar that could end up being Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. There's a couple Defensive Player of the Year candidates on that. I mean, Cameron Curl, he's balling out as a safety. You got Quentin Lake.
Yeah. What I love about that is, the voters are going to use it against all of them. That's the thing I love, is that now Jared Verse won't win Defensive Player of the Year, but you have Byron Young, you have Nate Landman, and you have Quentin Lake. And it's like, okay. And then Quentin Lake can't win it because he has Byron Young and Jared Verse. And then Landman can't win it because it's like, you have Jared Verse, Byron Young, Quentin Lake. It's like, they do that with the Hall of Fame too. That's why Kurt Warner wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. They're like, well, you had Orlando Pace and Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and Marshall Faulk. They're doing it with Torrey Holt. So I could go on and on, but I'm not going to, because we have the primetime games. Let's start off with the Thursday night game. Steelers, Bengals. Cam, give it to me straight. Who you got?
Man, I got the Steelers, Jake, 27-17. Like I mentioned, it's an icy hot game. I don't know if Joe Flacco's going to be able to get it done, but they're playing better ball, which is great. Like I mentioned, Jamar Chase is catching the football a lot better. Some back shoulders, some touchdowns. He's dancing. I think he's a little bit more happy with someone who can actually get him the football. Jake Browning, bless your soul, brother, but it wasn't it. So I'm happy about that. And like I mentioned, DK Metcalf really going off in that defense, Jake. I mean, Jalen Ramsey with 2 sacks. He had his first sacks, I think, when he was with the Rams. But they're just clicking on all cylinders, and it's really good to see. Why the Browns traded him to the Bengals, a division rival, I'm not sure. Similar to Mike Tomlin, he's like, yo, what the hell's going on here? But I think at the end of the day, you want good football. You don't want to see what we're seeing from the Jets and from the Dolphins. And so the Bengals kind of showing up for a guy like Jamar Chase, I think it's a fair move. And yeah, I definitely like the Steelers. How about you?
I like the Steelers too. They're 5.5-point favorites. I have them winning by 10. So I think they win 24-14 in this one. I think the Steelers, the way that they've played on the road has been inspiring. They're 2-0 to start the year. I understand small sample size, but still matters. And the Steelers are that team that I don't feel like they're quite where they want to be, and they're still 4-1, going to be 5-1 in my opinion. So this could be a dangerous team. Mike Tomlin could have something here. This is kind of the vision that the Jets had with Aaron Rodgers, and I think it went horribly wrong because I think they have the wrong owner. Whereas when you have the Steelers owner and the Khan, the whole connection with Khan as the GM. I think you're just in a really good position here. And I do think that they could make a move at the deadline. I had, kind of thrown out the idea of them going after Jacoby Myers, although it's saying that, I'm word on the street, according to Twitter, is that he's already been traded. We just don't know where he's going. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening there. But the Steelers are that team that they're kind of going all in. They went out and went after Jalen Ramsey. They went out and got Aaron Rodgers. They went out and got DK Metcalf. The weird thing is George Pickens might actually be better than DK Metcalf. But
yeah,
no. I agree with you here. Let's say this: you got Carolina. We just mentioned Dowdle. If they had to trade Chuba Hubbard, are the Steelers a good fit there? Breece Hall with the Jets. Does he want to team up with Aaron Rodgers again? I felt like he was one of the more vocal guys about wanting Rodgers to stay. So that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, out of those guys, I kind of think Breece Hall is a perfect fit because there's not really anybody on the roster at running back that's similar to him. I mean, I know Caleb Johnson, but he's a rookie. They don't really trust him in that capacity. And obviously, after the whole kickoff debacle, I don't know if he's going to get much of an opportunity this year. But yeah, I think Breece Hall would be a great fit. What say you, Cam?
Yeah, I think Jaylen Warren is great. Gainwell coming from the Eagles, he has a Super Bowl experience. Like, I get that. But
yeah,
that's just, I think, what I don't say they're missing it because they have about 50 yards a game, 40 yards a game, but we need a guy that can get about 100 to 90 to 80. And what about Alvin Kamara, Jake? I mean, I'm not sure if that's his vibe, but Alvin Kamara is not the same Alvin Kamara that we know him to be, and he's a more of a pass catching running back now.
Yeah, I feel like he's really similar to what they already have. But you have been on this because you mentioned Najee Harris, that they've been missing that player.
Yes,
and I feel that's why I brought Breece Hall, because I was like, "Ooh, Cam's gonna like this one."
Yeah, no, I really do. With Breece Hall, he's a home run hitter for sure, and I think they need someone who can mix things up a little bit. I know they're more of like a power running team, like to run through the tackles and everything like that. But go ahead and spare a guy like Alvin Kamara. Go ahead and bring him over, bring some excitement out of the backfield. You guys got and I think that kind of helps out Aaron Rodgers. You got DK Metcalf running down the football field. You got different guys doing different things. But to be able to pass it out to Alvin Kamara and do some damage, I mean, come on, let's cook.
Yeah, so they'll probably end up with Alan Lazard. But anyway. Oh, man. Yeah. So we both have the Steelers. And moving on, we have the Rams and Jaguars in London. Now, Cam, I think the Jaguars are legit. This is not going to be an easy game. Yeah. Jaguars are the home team, and by all accounts, they've played 11 London games. Since they announced that they were going to start playing games in London, and they're 6-5. Whereas the Rams are 2-2 in London. However, Sean McVay is 2-0 in London, and he's outscoring teams by about 40 points. So it's interesting. They are currently at Camden Yards in Baltimore because obviously it's not like Baltimore is going to be hosting anything in October, baseball wise. So
Jake, that's messed up. That's messed up. Your Yankees got ass cold blooded, brother.
Hey, I had to. It was low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
So the Rams are at the Rams are at Camden Yards. And, I like that they did that because they're not going back to LA and then having to fly back to UK. They're going to stay on the East Coast, easier flight.
Smart
I
move.
agree with it. So we'll see. I'm going to say this right now. He hasn't been ruled out, but Puka Nacua is not playing in this game. I don't think he should play in this game.
Yeah.
They will have Omar Spates back. I kind of liked Sean Dolak last week, to be honest. So I don't know if that makes him a better football. I mean, it makes him better because he'll be there. But if he's starting over Dolak, which he will be, I don't know if that's a better fit right now because I think Dolak makes him like a faster team. But, I think getting Tutu Atwell back from that hamstring is going to be really key and critical to beating the Jaguars. This is a Jaguars team that the offensive line, like I had mentioned, gave up 39 pressures to Seattle. The Rams have a defense that can really give give the Jaguars fits with that power rush. But in addition to that, Trevor Lawrence, I don't trust his decision making. I like a lot of what the Jaguars offer, but no Devin Lloyd. Trevor Lawrence's decision making against this defense, right? And the Rams are dominating the run game. And that's kind of one of those things where it's like if Travis Etienne doesn't get going and then all of a sudden Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the play action in his back pocket, how is Trevor Lawrence going to air it out? He's got a 33 quarterback passer rating when he's throwing 20 plus yards downfield. That's awful. So I don't know about you, Cam, but I'm going to take the Rams. It'll be a close game. It's London. It'll be weird, but I'm going to take the Rams 28-22.
Not it being weird because it's in London. That's actually mad funny, bro.
It's always weird in London. We just saw, what was it? The Jets lost. They almost won a game with -10 net passing yards.
Yeah,
weird. London.
Yeah. Halloween's coming up. She's getting spooky.
Yeah.
No, that's very funny, actually. Jake, I have the Rams winning this one as well. I know the money lines say otherwise. They got the Jags winning, but I want the Rams winning this one 24 to the Jags 21. Last week, the Jags got sacked 7 times. I think they had 10 penalties. If they keep that up, that's not going to be great. They do force turnovers. So you mentioned Devin Lloyd being out the game. That's going to be unfortunate for them because my man picked the ball off for 99 yards and ran it back against Patrick Mahomes. The week before that against Mac Jones had 2 picks. So he's been balling out. We had him as our top performer, but they still have Josh Hines out and they still got some guys that can get after the quarterback. I think for the Rams, Jake, we got to figure out the running game. We figured out that Kyren Williams can catch out of the backfield, right? After he fumbled against the 49ers at the game that you were at, he was catching the heck out of that football, Jake, right? Forced overtime. And so that was really cool to see. But getting Blake Corum going, getting Kyren Williams going, and if Puka Nacua is out, not forcing the Devontae Adams connection, my guy. I mean, these guys go for about 7 and 14, 7 receptions and 14 missed and a 14 target. It's like, bro, we gotta close that gap a little bit. And so hopefully get the running game going a little bit more. I've seen with other teams, Jake, they want to keep Matthew Stafford off the football field. The time of possession for each team is like to the Rams, it's like 20 to.
You're
10.
not kidding.
I mean, yeah, it's insane. Yeah. The ratio is crazy. So I think for the Rams, they're going to have to possess the football, hold on to a little bit more, get Tyler Higbee active, and get going. And what I will say, though, Jake, is you mentioned the running game, stopping the running game, but we have to get the running game going on the Rams side. And then, special teams. At the end of the day,
100%.
I mean, field goal kicks, punts, all that, my guy. I'm tired of saying it, but we got to lock in because once playoffs come, if we don't fix this now, we're going to be Cancun on 3. So,
yeah. I mean, there was just a 13-11 game last London game. So, like I said, it's weird in London. And you know how it gets weird? You know how it gets freaky? Blocked punts, blocked kicks, special teams mishaps. And it's the teacher versus the student. It's Sean McVay versus Liam Cohen. So, You know, I think as much as Cohen knows about McVay, McVay knows a lot about Cohen, and that's going to be an interesting thing. James Gladstone, GM, going up against his former team. Not like he's going to be on the field playing, but you get what I'm saying there.
Familiar territory.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool to see Travis Hunter. I've been watching him. I think he is an incredible player. I still don't love the way they utilize him in the passing game, but this man has over 130 snaps on the outside at corner. People aren't talking about how this guy is literally Shohei Ohtani of the NFL. And the reason being is because the Jaguars have held him back in the receiving game.
Jake, I wonder too if they want to keep him healthy for later on down the line. You know what I mean? Because he's doing a lot right now. So to keep this guy healthy and keep him kind of under wraps, like is that what the Eagles are doing, right? AJ Brown, he had a better game last game, but like, are they keeping these guys for later? You know, almost like you're saving leftovers. Like, oh, I got these leftovers for later on. I don't want to eat them right now. Like, what's the game plan?
It's more so though, like he's still going out there running those routes, and they're just not getting him the football. So it's like it's still wear and tear.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I totally get what you're saying, but
Trevor's holding on to the ball all day too. So it's like, come on, fam. Like,
and that's not, you can't do that against the Rams. He's going to get killed. Like it's just you can't. I'm sorry. You can't do that against the Rams. Ventrell Miller's the guy that I'm looking at on the Jaguars because he's filling in for Devin Lloyd, and I thought he played really well last week, but he's not the playmaker Devin Lloyd is. As far as like going out and snagging an interception, forcing fumbles left in, you know what I mean? So
game changer, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And Josh Hines Allen he literally won none of his reps, 0% win rate. So
yeah,
he's a star. He's gonna have to come alive in this one. But yeah, I got the Rams 28-22. Now we move on to the Sunday Night Football SNF. We got the Falcons, who are coming off a pretty impressive win against the Bills, taking on the 49ers. Now, Cam, I know you are very high on that Falcons win. I'm actually not, because I'm starting to wonder just how damn good the Bills really are. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They can't score. Cam, I don't know about you. That doesn't sound like a good team at all.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Josh Allen being a former MVP, just the hype that they've had, beating the Ravens from that first couple of games. Yeah, they've had the hype, but Jake, the Falcons going from losing the game by 40 points to beating the Bills, that was really impressive. Bijan Robinson looking like a world beater. I mean, it gave me like that Christian McCaffrey vibe, you know, where Christian McCaffrey playing against the Rams, he scored like 3 touchdowns. It's like, dude, this guy's the best football player in football.
He reminds me of Gurley.
I mean, dude, Bijan Robinson couldn't be stopped in the run game. That offensive line was blocking their ass off. Similar to what the Panthers are doing, right? When you get a good running back, your offensive line, they're just like juiced up. Michael Penix throwing the ball, zipping it around, making plays to Drake London, who, I mean, Jake, we were watching the game, and I'm like, it's number 5 and number 7. Cover those two. Everybody else, you know, Kyle Pitts, let him beat you. But number 5 and number 7, make sure you have 2 people on these guys. And the Bills just didn't get it done. And they went off. They went off that game, and the Bills deserved to lose it because they couldn't cover who they needed to. But Bijan, wow, caps off. I mean, he might get the NFC Player of the Week at this point because he balled out that game.
Yeah, he was special. You know, it was really fun to watch. And again, the reason why it reminds me of Todd Gurley is that 80-yard touchdown he has. It's like that was Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
You know, Todd Gurley could do a lot of things that were similar to just about everybody else in the league. He could have that 4-yard run, the 5-yard run, the 6-yard run, but the 80-yard run where he's breaking tackles and his ability in the passing game when he was at his best, that's what separated him from everybody else. So, yeah, he is a handful. And I give him a lot of credit because I'll tell you right now, people call me, not Jake Ellenbogen, they call me Jake Ellenbogen. And I would never change my name to Ellenbogen. However, Bijan is Bijan, and he said he loves Bijan that much that he's basically like, just call me Bijan. That's not even his name. So isn't that crazy?
What a guy. He's willing to adapt to make people happy, whatever it is.
He's a cyborg too. You ever see that video clip when he was on Texas and his back like snapped in half and then he just got back?
I mean, I did not see that. It sounds. I think a special on Bijan would be cool. I think he's getting like movies and stuff like that. Yeah. He's doing all types of stuff. Yeah,
AI. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I watched that dude's back go in half like that, and then he's like, okay.
Yeah,
And I
building.
remember showing my dad, and like, how did he not die? Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's just like, yeah, I'm up, I'm ready to go.
And that's one thing too, Jake. I will say that being an athlete, my wife and I, we watched the game sometime, and she's like, "Wait, this guy's ankle got bent, kind of like with Blake Corum. Like ankle gets trapped somewhere, and it's like, oh, he's out for the game." And it's like that's why you do the stretches, that's why you lift, and you do different things to be malleable, just in case you're put in precarious situations, you can get out of it and stay healthy. And you're seeing that with guys like Bijan and some of these running backs who are taking a beating, but then also bouncing back and making plays happen. But Jake, for this score, I got the Falcons winning 27-24 against the 49ers. Like I mentioned, Fred Warner is out. That was brutal to see. Like I mentioned, we're Rams folks, but you got to pay respect. And whenever you play against a guy like Fred Warner, it's like, man, I got to watch wherever he goes. And for him not to be the center of that defense anymore, that really hurts. And so I got the Falcons winning this one. How about you?
Yeah, awful to see that happen to a guy that literally has never missed a game in the league since 2018. Just brutal, especially because it was friendly fire. It's just like one of those freak things that you just can't even get out of the way of. Tatum Bethune, though, I'm really excited to see him in action. I think he's going to do some good things. I thought he looked good when he came into the game. I'm going to take the 49ers in this one, 23-17, protecting the home field. The Falcons can't win on the road. Last time they were on the road, they lost 30-0 to the Panthers. So, hey, I understand when you're in the Georgia Dome or whatever they call it now, there's like this vibe. But when you're not in there, that's when I feel like Penix kind of goes south. And I'm going to have a super hot take here that you may or may not agree with.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of Spencer Rattler. And I will say this right now. If Spencer Rattler was on the Falcons, they'd be a better offense. I am so impressed with the way this guy, operates the offense when he's pretty much, let's just be honest here, was totally left for dead in New Orleans. That's what he was. Like, no one gave him a chance in hell. I kept saying I liked him. I liked him in the draft, but I felt like, really, you're gonna go into the season with Spencer Rattler? I mean, it's better than Tyler Shuck, which I don't know if that guy's ever going to play with the way Rattler's playing.
Yeah.
I wish people understood he's making every throw. And, what will be talked about is, well, he's got Chris Olave, and I'm like, no, we're not going to play that game.
Yeah.
We're not going to play that game. This is a team that nobody had any sort of expectations for, and they still don't. And I understand they're 1-5, but Rattler makes every single Saints game competitive.
Yeah, Rattler doesn't have the juice that he don't got the juice like that. Like I see like guys like Taysom Hill come in the game, and it's like, man got the juice. I mean, Taysom Hill is a freak athlete and everything like that, but I would like to see a little bit more edginess out of Spencer Rattler.
It's funny you say that. That's how his whole thing started, because he was on that Netflix show. Remember?
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's hey, to each his own. But Spencer Rattler, I'm hoping he finds success. I mean, to be fair, Alvin Kamara is not running the ball like you want him to. So you start to get the run game going, opens up the pass game, and that's very cliche, but you need your guys to run the football so your quarterback can wheel and deal. So,
I know you like Penix, but I don't. And I really do like Rattler. I'm not saying he's going to be a franchise quarterback, but I like what I've seen. I mean, he's making throws that I don't think people realize he's making because nobody's watching Saints football. And honestly, you should, because Saints football is kind of exciting. Like, I watched it. I'm like, dude, they're competitive in every game. They're the best bad team you could have because they're always in it. They remind me of like the Jeff Fisher Rams. Like, you knew that probably weren't going to win, but you're like, okay, we're in the game,
Yeah, and I would say too, that's you have a great defense as well. You got guys on the other side of the ball like Cam Jordan who are getting the football back to you. I think that can't be overlooked. You got some strong, probably some Hall of Famers on that defensive side of the football for the Saints who can get Spencer Rattler to where he needs to go. And to be honest, Jake, I think the NFC South, with the Falcons getting better, I think this is good because NFC South hasn't really been great lately.
No.
So
still the Bucs division to lose.
Yeah, still the Bucs. exactly.
Next year, the year after that. Like
it used to be different, Jake. The Falcons used to be that group. Even the Saints. They used to be those guys, bro. And now the tide has changed. Ever since Brady got back, those guys didn't have a chance, right? Drew Brees left, and now it's like, who that? Like who, I don't know who they are.
I love that. We move on. Speaking of that, Buccaneers taking on the Lions, Monday Night Football, another stupid doubleheader. I'm not gonna lose my mind, I swear.
Yeah.
I don't understand. The Lions lost to the Packers. They were dominated. The Lions were outplayed by the Chiefs in front of everybody. And I still see Lions 2, Lions 3, Lions 4 in the power rankings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, with all due respect, what the hell are y'all watching? This isn't college football. Oh, they blew out this team and that team. And okay, you did not name one single team that was a good win. The Ravens win, which we thought might have been good, turned out it wasn't actually that good of a win. I understand, yeah, they got a high-powered offense. Give me the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are going to be starting Tez Johnson, Cameron Johnson, John Johnson. I don't care, right? The Buccaneers have Baker Mayfield, so many injuries, and they're still going to find a way to win this game in Detroit. I do not understand for the life of me. Maybe I sound like the biggest hater ever, but I tend to get fixated on things that don't have any logical sense. And right now, this obsession over the Lions, a team that won 15 games last year and couldn't even win a playoff game at home, I'm sorry, I'm not going crazy over. They lost Ben Johnson. The offense still looks good. The defense got worse. They're not going to have Brian Branch in this game, as you mentioned, because he got suspended for being an idiot. The Buccaneers are the better team. Give me the Buccaneers. I don't care that they're on the road.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield for MVP. I mean, he's
up
going
there for sure.
Yeah, he's going crazy right now, along with guys like Sam Darnold, even Daniel Jones. But Baker Mayfield, love it. I got the Bucs winning this one too, Jake. 30-28. The Lions, like you mentioned, I think
I got 27-20. I forgot to mention that. Yeah,
27-20. Nice. Yeah, the Lions have been so trash. So the fact that they're balling out now, Jake, I think you kind of want, with for the good guys, win for the good guys.
Nope, you're not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I will say though, Jake, Aiden Hutchinson, he's still showing up each week in and week out. The fact he got hurt last year, coming back this year has been cool. I saw Zadarius Smith, he retired recently. That's unfortunate.
Tell you something.
Yeah, you're right. That's unfortunate, but just to see that running back room, I think is really great to see. As this good ball, right? Jahmyr Gibbs, those guys are running the football really nicely. But I like to see that. I'm loving what I'm seeing about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a tough blocker, Jake. He runs hard. I think he'd be a good Ram, right? Outside, Puka Nacua and Amon-Ra, those guys. It's you guys are solid. I know he went to USC, so I'm sure he would love that at some point. But this team, this Lions team is good, but the Buccaneers are better. Hopefully Mike Evans is coming back pretty soon. I hope that Chris Godwin can come back soon. Mecca with those hamstrings. I mean, these guys they're hurting right now, and I'm sure that they can't wait for this bye to come up at some point. But someone mentioned, oh yeah, I don't fear the Lions at all. Yeah, well, I feel you. A lot of our Rams front office staff went over there, and so we got a piece of the Rams at the Lions, but I don't think that the Lions will win this game, Jake. I think that the Buccaneers are going to pull it off and make things happen. Like I mentioned, 30-28.
I think reality is going to hit the Lions head on. But anyway, we have another stupid Monday Night Football game at 10 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what we're doing, Cam.
Okay. I see why that's stupid, Jake. I'm on the West Coast. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just stupid, right? And mind you, I'm unbiased here because I'll be up regardless. You know that. So
he's like, I'll be watching.
Yeah. So the Texans are heading to Seattle. If this was in Houston, I think the Texans have a shot. I actually love the way Seattle's playing. That loss to Tampa was a very good loss. That loss to the 49ers, as painful as that was, wasn't a bad loss either. Seattle's a really good football team. They get after you, with that pass rush. McDonald throws a ton of different looks your way. CJ Stroud isn't going to have enough time to decipher this defense, okay? That offensive line is pathetic, okay? The Jaguars' offensive line, I don't even think is that bad, and the Seahawks just destroyed them. What's going to happen to an offensive line that is bad, right? Are they going to have 50 pressures this week? Like, this is every single play. Like, yeah, so, at the end of the game, they're like, CJ Stroud was pressured on 98% of his dropbacks. Like, is that what we're going to see? So, I don't see a way the Texans win this game. I think the Texans' defense is really good. They are. But here's the problem, Cam. The snowball effect.
Yeah.
They're going to be out there the whole game. The whole game. And I just think even the best defense in the league can't last the whole game. So, yeah, I think Seattle, I wish they would run it more with K9 because Zach Charbonnet has like the worst yards per carry average. And they're like, that's the guy we want running the football. No idea why. Kenneth Walker's a baller. Yeah. But I just love the way Sam Darnold's playing right now. I think Seattle's a real problem. So give me the Seahawks in a bit of a blowout here, 27-10.
Oh, 27-10. Okay, Jake, I got this game. Seattle winning, of course, because Seattle's looking tough. This NFC West is looking mighty powerful with the Rams and the Seahawks. But I got the Seahawks winning 27 to the Texans 17. Texans coming off a fresh bye week, which is nice. Hopefully those offensive linemen can do a little more squats, you know what I mean? Do some speed drills so they can run and block. You know what I mean? They might be running after some of those defensive linemen, but
they're going to need a hyperbolic time chamber to get better at it's not good.
Some Dragon Ball Z flow, huh? Kind of speed up their training in a couple of minutes, but I think, Jake, that the Seattle Seahawks are going to win this one. JSN is crushing it. You mentioned Zach Charbonnet. Why they give him the ball? I think because he's a bruiser, Jake. I mean, you think about your Cam Scatterboos, right? Cam his big personality. He's going crazy. He's running through guys like Zach Baum, but Zach Charbonnet,
he's something, all right.
Yeah, Zach Charbonnet, he'll run through somebody, and so I think they like the physicality. They like the kind of the tone setting of that. And then even Cooper Kupp, he's starting to come along a little bit. He's starting to come along nicely as well. He's been a little quiet, Jake, a little bit more quiet than we want Cooper Triple Crown wanted to be, but he's coming along a little bit better. I think this offense is looking really nice. Sam Darnold, like I mentioned, could be up for the MVP again. I mean, he's dishing the ball out. He's connecting with his receivers, and I think that's great to see. Cooper Kupp, like I mentioned, had his first touchdown.
A.J. Barner is going to be huge in this game because they are probably going to bracket JSN, and I expect the Seahawks are still going to be able to get him the football, but A.J. Barner has been playing some great football at tight end. Yeah.
And then you're talking about Barner playing a tight end. You think about, too, the cornerback that was at the Rams and now at the Seattle Seahawks, Kendrick, what's his name?
Darion Kendrick.
Yeah, he's cooking. They have a good thing going on over there in Seattle. And you think about it, right? DK Metcalf leaves. You got some of their prime receivers, their prime players leaving, but
Uchenna Nwosu's back from injury. He's playing well. Yeah, they got a lot going for
DeMarcus Lawrence had 2.5 sacks. I mean, these guys are smothering. They're only sending 4 people on some of these rushes, and they're just running through people. You talked about Jared Verse and Byron Young running through folks. Well, this Seattle Seahawks defensive line is doing something similar. So I can see them doing that same thing against the Texans with the dub. Seattle up by a lot.
Hey, I'm with you on that. Bye week for Ravens and Bills. Their fan base thanks the bye week for that. Premier games, the best games of the week. We're starting off with Bolts and Colts. How about that? The Colts, I have as the number 1 team in the league for my power rankings. The Chargers, I don't know what the Chargers are. Thought that they were going to go to the Super Bowl or, look like a potential Super Bowl team the first 3 weeks of the year, but then they lose Joe Alt, and it just feels like now that deep passing attack has been neutralized. Then they lose Omari and Hampton the previous week, and don't get me wrong, Vidal goes off, right? He goes over 100 yards last week, but it was against the Dolphins' atrocious run defense.
That's not funny,
so
Jake.
You can literally pick anybody off the street in the run for 100 against that defense. Although I like Kamani Vidal. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
That said, I just don't like where the Bolts are right now. You had to come back and beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins are not good right now. They're not a good football team. The Colts are a good football team, and I'll tell you this right now. When it comes to Indy, they are so hard to beat at Lucas Oil. The Cardinals gave them a run. I think a lot of it had to do with Jacoby Brissett, a little extra emphasis.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys got rid of me. I'm going to show you. But here's the deal. This team, they not that long ago had a 2-possession lead on the Rams at SoFi. They lost that game. Well, they get to go back to SoFi and right their wrong, and I think they're going to do it against the Chargers. Give me the Colts in kind of a similar score as the Rams game, 31-19. I'm going to take the Colts here.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Colts on this one as well, Jake. I'm going to go with this one, Colts 34 to the Chargers 27. I think you talk about Adonai Mitchell where he dropped the ball at the goal line. That was brutal. Colts should have won that game against the Rams. I totally agree with you. They're in the top 5 in a lot of these categories, points per game, points per allowed. They're not allowing it. They're playing some good football. I know Xavier Howard, he retired after that Rams game. So they're going to, like you mentioned, they're going to have some tough feelings about going back to SoFi. This Chargers team, Jake, they turned the ball over just a little bit too much, was it last week? I didn't really like that. One of the Syracuse guys, Gatson, he had a turnover right after they just picked the ball off. And so, like you mentioned, the Cardinals giving them a fit. Jacoby really balling out. And mind you, Jacoby's been around the block a little bit. And so for him to step in for Kyler Murray, that was really good to see. But Jonathan Taylor, who's going to stop him? Jake, who's going to stop him? I know Derwin James is going to do his best, right? Some of those linebackers and DBs for the Chargers going to do their best, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Jonathan Taylor's probably going to run for 100 because he didn't run for 100 against the Rams last time he was at SoFi. So I think he's going to run for 100. And Jake, Tyler Warren, he might be one of the best receiving weapons on that Colts team. I mean, I know you got guys like
in the league. He's insane, dude.
Yeah. He's going on. This might be the year of the tight end. Like I mentioned, Trey McBride was going off as well. I mean, Trey McBride was going off. You got Tucker Kraft going off. Unfortunately, Brock Bowers is hurt, but you got these tight ends really showing up. And Dalton Kincaid. I mean, you can get Sam Laporta with that one-handed catch in the end zone. Like we can keep going, But Juwan Jennings. But I really like what I'm seeing from Tyler Warren in this offense. Is doing really good. I love to see in the defense as well. Was my guy Zaire Franklin? He's showing up each week. So I got the Colts beating the Chargers as well.
Yeah, and then this next one, I mean, could be the game of the week in some capacity because of just the storyline there. Carson Wentz saying, "You're coming back to my house," against his former Philadelphia Eagles team.
Ooh.
The Eagles need a win. They've lost 2 straight. They had a mini bye. The Vikings had a bye. So interesting, kind of nullifies the whole advantage of having a mini bye. Now, Cam, I want to pick the Vikings here, but I just can't, and here's why. The Vikings, their pass defense is really good. Really good. By the way, Isaiah Rodgers also going up against his former team that wouldn't pony up the cash to pay him. So there's that. But I'm going to go with the Eagles because they've lost 2 straight. I just can't see them losing 3 straight. They're not a great football team right now. They haven't looked good in any of their games. I don't think they're going to particularly look great in this one. But the Vikings are susceptible to giving up yards on the ground. And this is a game where I feel like coming off a mini bye week, okay, we get Saquon Barkley involved. We just give him 20 carries. It doesn't matter. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are not giving him the opportunity to be Saquon Barkley. This is the week to do that because the Vikings defense on the ground, they're giving up about 132 yards rushing a game. They're second in pass defense per game. So I think this is the week where Saquon Barkley has a really good game. I'm not saying he has to explode, but he does enough where if this is a close game, I think he can house the game-winning touchdown type deal. So give me the Eagles in this one. I have them losing late in the game, 21-17. Saquon Barkley game-winning touchdown run, 24-21.
24-21. I like it. I got the Eagles winning this one, Jake, as well. I'm going to say that I'm going to bump the score down. I'm going to bump the score down actually because of that Vikings defense. just because they're so tough. I don't think the Eagles are using A.J. Brown like they should use him. I think Dallas Goedert is going to be another weapon for this Eagles team. I just picked him up off my fantasy because Dalton Kincaid's out, Brock Bowers is out. And so, like, who's the next best option? And Dallas Goedert is it right now. But I'm going to go this game, Jake. I'm going to go 21-14. Just a little bit lower of a game than I thought it was going to be. Like you mentioned, the Eagles, I don't see them losing again. They got embarrassed by the Giants. Cam Scatterboo got like the angry run scepter for running through Zach Bond, I think twice, knocked him on the ground once, and then the next play ran through him at the goal line. Zach Bond's an all-pro. Cam Scatterboo is going to be an all-pro. I feel like at some point, just the hype he's bringing to the game, frat bro life, and it's just really cool to see. I don't know if you saw, but it went viral. Him playing 2K, I guess, before the win. I don't know if it was true or not, but I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I know the Eagles didn't love that, and so they're going to take that out, I think, on the Vikings. I think Brian Flores, at the end of the day, causes problems. At the end of the day. So any team will have to look out for that. But I would like to see A.J. Brown get going a little bit more. And then Saquon Barkley did not have his get-back game. We talked about it. He was one of my top performers. I'm like, oh.
Not quite.
Not quite. The Giants, I'm sure the front office, Jake, after they were on Hard Knocks, they were like, yo, if you guys don't stop this man, like, I'm going to fire every single one of you. And the Giants, they did their job. They did their due diligence, and that team really went off. But we all love a revenge game, Jake. Carson Wentz going against his former team in the Eagles. It'll be a good one to watch. But I got the Eagles up on this one.
And trust me, I could see the upset, as crazy as that sounds, but I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like, I could see Carson Wentz balling out, but still going to go with the Eagles. Giants, Broncos, you mentioned the Giants. I think a lot of people are going to pick them. Broncos didn't play well against the Jets. I'm chalking that up to London, especially in Denver. Maybe I'm just overreacting here, but I didn't like the way Jackson Dart went on the road and played against the Saints. And I kind of feel like that's going to be what we see. So that Broncos defense, I mean, you know,
wow.
you know how I feel about Nick Bonito.
Yeah.
You know, Jonathan Cooper, Pat Surtain. I mean, they got so many guys. Justin Sternad. There's so many guys. And so I just feel like it's going to create a problem here for the Giants. Now, keep in mind, the Eagles were without Jalen Carter. I think that really has to be said because while he probably should have played, there are a lot of guys that play through a little pain. He didn't play. And because he didn't play, now you're able to run the football. And you said like they looked soft, honestly, in stopping the run. I don't think Scatterboo is just going to be able to run right through the Broncos defense. And that to me is where now I'm putting all of the pressure on Jackson Dart to do his thing. And I just don't feel like that's the best course of action. So give me the Broncos here in Denver, 23-13. I think the Giants are probably going to acquire. I'm going to say they acquire Jacoby Myers. I don't know if it'll happen before this game, but I think they need to get him another weapon. Even if he played in this game, though, I don't see them winning it. I just think it's too tough. One of the best defenses that we've seen in quite some time, on pace to break the sack record. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, bro, they had 9 sacks against the Jets.
No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, bro, that's crazy, Jake. That's crazy. That means everyone eats. So you get one, you get one. You mentioned Jonathan Cooper.
You get a sack. You get a sack. You get a sack.
We're going against the Jets. Yeah. Sacks. we're in here. Jonathan Cooper had 2 of them. He had the final sack of the game.
He doesn't get talked about nearly enough. He's a very good player.
Yeah, and he has Nick Bonito on the other side too, which is helpful. You talked about Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper. You talk about Byron Young and Jared Verse, some of these Nick Herbig, right, and T.J. Watt. Like you talk about some of these combination, and they're doing a good job of getting after the quarterback. And I got the Broncos winning this one, Jake. Like I said, 24-17. And then credit out to Sean Payton. Jake, we drug Sean Payton through the dirt. It was a year or two ago when he was talking mess about the Jets head coach. And we were like, this guy, he doesn't have great character, man. Bump this guy. He knows how to win football games. He knows how to turn an organization around. And this Broncos team, Jake, similar to what we talked about the Lions. I mean, of course, they went to the Super Bowl with, Peyton Manning and everything like that. But ever since then, they have been trash, brother. And so Sean Payton figuring it out, right, turning things around, and good for him. I think this game they're going to cause some pressure, brother. Jackson Dart, I don't think he's seen this type of defense yet. I think Scatterboo, I don't know if he's going to be able to run through these guys like he was doing against the Eagles. I think Hufanga is going to show up. I like the Broncos in this one. And the altitude, brother, like that's a whole other beast in itself.
Trust me, it's always here. It's like Denver altitude. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like how people, when they're making their picks, like they're coming off a tough loss, and that's like the starter pack, right? Like making your picks, you got coming off a tough loss. That's like normally leaning towards you picking them. Playing at home, right? Like there you go. Having the altitude, like that's built in. That's only really something Denver deals with and gets it to their advantage. Yeah, that's brutal to play there, especially as a rookie. And now we move on to the Packers game, taking on the Cardinals. This is interesting. I don't know who's going to play at quarterback for the Cardinals, so I'm going to say I think Jacoby Brissett plays. Brissett right now I would take over Kyler Murray. I am not sold on this Packers team, Cam. They have yet to win on the road. They haven't looked great. They don't put teams away. They lost to Joe Flacco and the Browns. Joe Flacco and the Bengals, stayed in that game too. He was trying to become the first quarterback ever to win with two different teams in the same season against the same team. Man, I was rooting for him. That would have been so cool. But yeah, this Packers team, I think we kind of jumped the gun on. A lot of us, maybe not all of us, but some of us, oh yeah, they got Micah Parsons. That means their whole team is great. Not so fast. Now, Josh Jacobs can run the football.
Yeah.
That defense is still good. But I'm not seeing a ton out of Jordan Love. I'm not seeing, dominance from this offense. I'm not seeing a lot of points being put up. So the thing about Arizona is that it's in Arizona. I think their defense is a little underrated. And if they figured out their offense, they're going to give the Packers a run. So I'm going to take Arizona for the upset, 17-13. Packers got to prove to me first that they can win on the road, and they have yet to do that. They almost did in Jerry World, but they tied.
Yeah. Okay, I like that, Jake. This is the game I think that we're going to go opposite with. I got the Packers 28 to the Cardinals 20. I think when we talk about Jacoby Brissett, I don't think teams have really seen him in a minute, and so I think the Packers are going to have a chance to get to him. We talk about you mentioned Michael Parsons stepping into that team. We've seen Michael cause some pressures. We've seen him chase people down, but we haven't seen him have that 2-sack game, that 3-sack game. So I think he gets in there. He makes it happen. Marvin Harrison Jr., I know he's been out. He went out last game. That was unfortunate. But Trey McBride is a big weapon on that offense. I love to see him catch the football. He's been a beast. But I like the Packers in this one. I think we talk about Jacobs running the football, man. He just looks sharp. He's always been sharp. And so that team doing a good job. And then just the way that the Packers play defense, the yards allowed, I think they're 5th in the league in yards allowed. So they don't really give up much, which is great. Pass yards per game, they're about 10th, and total yards are 9th. So they're right there at the top, kind of the bottom half of the top. And Jordan Love, I always talk about just the way he throws the football. It's always a pretty sight to watch. Golden is coming along for that offense. Romeo Dobbs is always catching the football and always consistent. Tucker Kraft as well. I mean, my notes for the game they played recently, I said they're all open. Like they're always just wide open. And I think Jordan Love.
I think that was the Bengals, my guy. Now you see where my method for my madness with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, just wide ass open. So man. I like the Packers winning this one, bro. 28-20.
All right. Sounds like it'll be a way more exciting game than my 17-13 prediction. But that said, we have the final of the premier games. The Commanders taking on the Cowboys. This should be a lot of points, Cam. I'm thinking over 60 total.
Oh.
So give me the Cowboys. 31-30 at Jerry World. Gotta be honest with you. I know Dan Quinn, I'm a big fan of. And I would like to see him get revenge on the Cowboys. Trust me, I would. But at the same time, I just don't really feel like the Commanders are that good. I think Jaden Daniels has been figured out and has yet to change his game to adjust to that. He looks like Colin Kaepernick after teams figured him out and like, okay, well, now you're going to be forced to throw the football in the pocket. We're not going to let you run. And I'm just not seeing a confident Jaden Daniels. On top of that, you have injuries in the wide receiver room. They just put Noah Brown on IR. And then you got fumble issues at running back. And you lost Austin Eckler earlier in the year. And you traded away Brian Robinson. And Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt had 2 fumbles, one of which was on Jaden Daniels.
Bill.
Yeah, and I mean, you know my thoughts on Connerly, the right tackle who's getting abused every week. I don't think it's conducive to winning football. I mean, it's the Cowboys. They give up a lot of points, a lot of yards. So don't get me wrong, they're going to be able to score against the Cowboys. But if I have to choose between Dak and Jaden Daniels, Jaden Daniels last year, but Dak this year, Dak is one of the best quarterbacks in football right now. And
facts.
They might have CeeDee Lamb for this game. They might, if that's the case, I'd probably go 38-30. I think he gives them a full touchdown difference there. The way George Pickens is playing, the way Javonte Williams is running the football, I just got to say, this is a really, this team is going to put up a lot of points. Their defense struggles. I mean, obviously, they're Dan Quinn away from probably the defense being pretty decent, funny enough. But yeah, give me the Cowboys at home. Dak is going to have another baller game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it, Jake. I'm going to go opposite again on this one. I'm going to go Commanders 28 to the Cowboys 24. Reason being, Cowboys let up a lot of yards, brother. They're letting up everything. We talk about Bill fumbling the football. Well, this week he's going to know, like, hey, I got to protect the ball. I got to lock in. So I think we're going to see a big rushing game by Bill. I think that's going to be great to see. You still got Bobby Wagner back there and Frankie Louvu. So I know they're going to have their hands full stopping the run. So I think that'll be great. Dak, I got him starting on my fantasy, so he's gonna throw that football. He's gonna throw his ass off there. But Terry McLaurin, is he coming back? If he comes back, Jake, this could be a little bit different. Zach Ertz found the end zone last game. That was great to see. You
Chris
mentioned
Moore.
Jake,
32-year-old Chris Moore is just mossing guys. I don't know. It was a weird game.
Yeah, do your thing, 21. You know what I mean? And then you mentioned Jaden Daniels. He threw a pick. And you said people are kind of starting to figure him out a little bit. That's unfortunate. But the only other thing, too, is the Commanders can't really stop the run. DeAndre Swift is running all over them. So it's going to be a heavyweight fight. I love a revenge game. So I like Dan Quinn finding his revenge on the Cowboys. Cowboys aren't really as good as we think they are. That's every year, though. No one's surprised. But I got the Commanders winning this one and coming out with the dub after losing to the Bears at the last minute against was it Jake Moody who kicked that field goal? I mean, he was kicking his ass off, but he found a way to win in the game, which was great because he got removed from the 49ers and then found some light at the end of the tunnel. But
found myself rooting for him a little bit. He's been through the ringer. I don't know, man. And the block kick, I felt bad for him because I was like, man, that wasn't even his fault, And so, yeah, to see him be the hero of the game, that was kind of cool. This is I like this. Cowboys getting Siobhan Revel Jr. back, Revel Jr. back. He started off this season. He had a pre-draft injury, the ACL tear. So, I mean, hey, I know he had a setback in July with it, so it's good to see. I hope he comes on the field soon. And then I don't know if you've been keeping up with Jerry, but Jerry said, we're still in this thing. We got the ammo. Okay, I'm like, Jerry, I would hope you got the ammo. You traded freaking Micah Parsons. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? Be like, yeah, we don't have any picks to trade. The hell did you trade Parsons for?
Yeah. Yeah. My man, see now, we got bless his soul, Jake. Bless his soul.
Oh man. Well, hey, we split there. I got the Cowboys, you got the Commanders. I got the Cowboys by a point. We'll see. It should be a fun game. I think it's gonna be a lot of scoring. The rest of the games, rapid fire here. Raiders, Chiefs. as much as I want to give the Chiefs a premier game there, playing against the Raiders, you got Geno Smith throwing 3 interceptions. It feels like a game. I don't think that's really close.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice is going to be back. Chiefs roll 33-10.
Yeah. Chiefs got the weapons back, bro. Juju's fighting out there. Those guys are getting to it. I like the Chiefs on this one. I'm going to say 28-17. Ashton Genty still looking spooky back there with his
Michael Myers stance.
With his stance. Yeah, that's his
what a psycho.
zone.
I love it.
Yeah, let him do his thing. Let him cook. So, but I still got the Chiefs, man. They're looking dangerous again.
Absolutely. And then Patriots Titans. Hey, we like the Patriots on this show. Give me the Patriots 34-6. Mike Vrabel goes back to Tennessee and kicks their ass. I feel bad for Cam Ward in this game.
Yeah. Revenge game, brother. Run it up. I like the Pats. Drake May's cooking. Ramondre is going to have to step up. I think he's going to have a good running game. So I'm going to go 31 to the Titans. Sheesh, 10, brother, because I'm gonna give him a little bit more, but it's not looking good. Alec Amenyor, he's always a good receiver, and Tony Pollard, but they struggled last game, and they'll struggle.
Calvin Ridley could be out, so my guy Van Jefferson is gonna get the starting reps, and he looked good last week, so I'm hoping he gets a good game. Kind of like mini wins in there, but you just fired your head coach. I would imagine this is going to feel like kind of a lost game. Anybody who had any playoff aspirations on the Titans, and let's not sit here and act like these players don't think that they have a shot. You're going to lose some of the fire. And when you go up against Vrabel's Patriots, they're going to be all fire. So there you go. And like you said, May is just balling. So
Jake, what if they have like a UCLA type of thing where they like just revamp and like they just start winning?
I mean, it's possible. Mike McCoy has coached in this league. He's had some success. I'm not going to say he's been great, but he coached the Chargers back in the day, their interim head coach. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't think they're going to beat the Patriots. I do not. The Saints, Bears. This is going to be a fun little game here. Not a premier game, but fun game. I'm going to take the Bears here only because it's at Soldier Field. If this was in New Orleans, I think I would take the Saints. I just love the way Rattler's playing. I think Alvin Kamara has his best games left in front of him. I do think he's still Alvin Kamara. I think just they've gone in a different direction for the offense to be more, I guess, open for like kind of leaving everything available for a young quarterback in Rattler. But I do think that they're going to be in this game all the way through like they always are. Give me the Bears 25-22, though. I like the way Caleb Williams is playing. I thought he was really, key down the stretch and beating the Commanders and upsetting them. So, give me Caleb at Soldier Field to take down the Saints 25-22.
Okay, I like that. I like Bears 24-21. Taysom Hill is back, so I think I keep talking about him because he crushed me when I was playing against him. So I got to pay respect anytime I can. But that Saints team with Chris Olave is always going to cook. He's always going to eat, which is great. And I hope Alvin Kamara goes off, or he's going to the Steelers. I mean, it's one of the two. November's coming up soon, so go ahead and do as much as you can with him while you can. He's always a threat out of the backfield.
Don't tell him that. He's gonna be like, you better go off or you're going to Pittsburgh. Oh, in that case, well, I'm not even going to show up.
So,
send my ass right over there. I'll play tomorrow.
Sign your boy up. But DeAndre Swift, he's been playing some good ball, Jake. DeAndre Swift's playing some good ball. DJ Moore, if he's healthy, they can make a run. But Bears 24, Saints 21.
And I want to see Colston Loveland get more action. They had the bye. Do we see that soon? Does he get kind of opened up more in the playbook? That's one of the things I'm looking out for in that game. Dolphins Browns. Good Lord.
Skip.
Had a hard time even saying that. Sorry, Dolphins and Browns fans out there that are watching this. The Dolphins have no run defense. The Browns have no marketability, but the Browns do have a good defense. And for that reason, I think the Dolphins are a train wreck. Give me the Browns 20-9. I would not watch this game if my life depended on it.
I got Browns, Jake, 21 to Dolphins 14. Devon Achane is always great to watch, Jake. He's running past everybody. I always got to hype him up.
He ain't gonna do it this week against that Browns defense.
No, Devin Bush and those guys, they go crazy. That defense is tough. Will we see Shedeur this week? That'll be great. He's the only marketable thing over there.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
least marketable franchise and the most marketable part of them, they're like trying to bury on the bench.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and bring them out. Go ahead and bring your big dogs out. Play all your hits. You know, if you
Yeah.
got some hits in the back of your playlist, like bring them to the top, make them happen. But I think this Browns team is going to fall this game and win this game to the beat the Dolphins. Judkins, your guy, he's going to show out this game as well.
Yes, he is. And I
And
think
Tua snitching out here, so come on, you can't. Snitching can't get no love.
yeah, no, of course. And I think my guy Harold Fannin Jr. is going to have a really good game too. I do think we'll see Shedeur Sanders. I do.
Hope so. Show it, brother.
I do. Yeah. Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, bro plays with a watch on. That is wild. That is wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if you land on that? Your wrist is going to feel like broken.
Hey, he got a whole lot of money, so he'll fix that fracture.
Yeah, he'll just bionicle type of a bionic wrist or whatever. But we move on to the last game, Panthers Jets, which also sounds horrendous. But give the Panthers some credit. They're 3-3 here. They've won some games that they've had to come back, and honestly, they lost that Arizona game that came down to the wire. They came back in that. They came back in another game that's escaping me. The Jets have also been in some close games, but I just don't think the Jets have the right head coach. I truly think this owner, and I continue to say this, I've said this on multiple shows, even if it's not even related, it pisses me off so much because having covered the Jets for a year, like I saw what they were building. I saw the vision, Robert Saleh has. I saw the vision, Ulbricht had. I mean, see what Ulbricht's doing in Atlanta. It kind of goes to show you, they were on the right track. And they just were so impatient. Woody Johnson is so impatient. He's like that kid that, the way of parenting the kid is like you're eventually going to let him have the candy, but you're testing him out. And then there's literally only one way you're not going to let him have the candy. And then he gives you the one way. And that is Woody Johnson. It's like you're literally going to have one of the best defenses in the league. We just got Aaron Rodgers. Just let it cook. And he was so impatient that he had to blow up the entire team. And in a mid-season fire of Robert Saleh, which was insane to me. And now you hire Aaron Glenn, who I don't even think was a good defensive coordinator with the Lions. And now here he is, 0-6, about to be 0-7 because the Panthers are going to go into MetLife Stadium, whatever stadium you want to call it, and they're going to win this game. Because I am banking on the fact that Dave Canales is going to trust in his quarterback, Bryce Young. That defense is going to play tough, and we're going to see more Rico Dowdle than we see Chuba Hubbard. If all of that happens, which I believe it's going to, the Panthers win this game 23-14.
Yep, I got Panthers this one, Jake, 21-10 against the Jets. They got, 9 sacks last game? Like, come on, family. That's going to be a tough day for you. So I think the Panthers defense is going to get after him. And then I got Rico Dowdle. He's going to go off. He's my top performer. And Bryce Young as well. So I like that. 21-10. Panthers are up finally because they've been trash for a long time. So they're finally figuring it out.
Hey, that'd be 4-3 for them. So there you go. Now all of a sudden you start to kind of put it together and you're like, oh, we've kind of ripped off some wins here. So yeah. And also, Cam, you've probably been in a locker room before that, word gets out, okay, this player's getting traded, this player's getting traded. I mean, how does that feel? Like, do you really feel like let's go out there, let's kick some ass, but at the same time, behind closed doors, oh, they're selling the farm?
Yeah, you got to ignore the noise. That's a lot of noise when you're playing. I mean, I know we're creating some of the noise, we're giving our opinions, but when you're playing the sport, you got to kind of really lock in. Even for our show, right? We look at our comments, sometimes we jump in, but if people are saying negative things in the comments, it's like I can't really give that energy.
That's
I got to talk to my guy Jake and deliver a good show. So they got to kind of ignore the noise, play ball, and work with what they have. So
no, that's definitely true. I'm thinking in terms of more like with the Jets, like all the trade rumors with JJ3 and Will McDonald, and we just mentioned Breece Hall. I mean, that has to, at some point, kind of leak in your locker room, and maybe if you don't have the right leader of men, that can really get to you.
That's the issue, Jake. I think what you mentioned is it starts from top down. You mentioned Woody Johnson. That when you go to the Jets, you know you're going to an organization that isn't necessarily stable, where the owner's taking advice from a 17-year-old son. Like, you know, it's a little wishy-washy at the end of the day. So it's bro. It's a little tough. I think when you go in a situation like that, even when you're playing in New York City or New Jersey, essentially, right, that it comes with a lot of extra noise. So it can be tough, but you know you're on a trash team anyways, and so you just do the best you can and hope you get the hell up out of there.
I get it, man. Jets fans deserve better. If I had $1 for every time I've said that, I'd probably be rich. Because they do. They deserve better. They're great fans. They go to all those games, even if they know that they're not going to win. You should have seen the turnout last year, Rams-Jets. It was one of the coldest days of my life. So many Jets fans in attendance. There were a lot of Rams fans. There were so many Jets fans, and it's just a reminder. I mean, they're 3-11 at that point. They're not going anywhere, but they're still at the stadium. They're still watching Aaron Rodgers. They're still watching Devontae Adams. They're still, I give them a lot of credit for that.
Yeah.
So
it's like Raiders fans. You know what I mean? Not going to win shit, but you show for your team. Sorry, Jake.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, there's a whole story with that one, as you've told before, but that's going to do it. So hope you guys enjoyed, and you made your pick. I know some people like literally watch this and then they make their picks based on our analysis. So we appreciate those of you who hold us in that high regard to, you do the survivor picks and you're like, oh, Cam said this is going to happen, so I guess I'm going to pick this team to not lose. And
I love it.
So yeah, it's really cool. Be sure to share this with somebody that likes football, because I guarantee you there's at least 1 minute in this video that you can take away that you can relate to. But for Jake Ellenbogen, he is Cameron Lynch. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Follow me at JK Bogan. Follow Cameron Lynch at Cameron Lynch 50. And we will see you guys in the next episode, Week 8 edition.
Peace.